How many of you have ever found yourself in a situation of confusion? You're just down, confused. You don't know where to go. In fact, at that time, nothing is interesting to you. How many of you have ever been there? I want to see you. How many of you have ever been there? Even the children have been there. Even the children have been there. Amen. That thing you are experiencing is called the crossroad of life. What's that? Yes. You are at the crossroad of life. It's a crossroad. The crossroad of life. The crossroad of life. You're finding yourself at life's crossroad. I want to ask again, how many of you have been at the crossroad of life? You are very sure you've been at this kind of road where this is you. You know, at this point you have 5 options. Are you seeing the 5th option? Huh? Huh? I know you can see 4 options, right? The 5th option is to die there. Right? Just stay here and let your maker come and carry you. Guess what? Most people at that point, you prefer that 5th option. True? Yes. At a critical point, you prefer the 5th option of life's crossroad. At such points, you begin to say all manner. At such points, nothing is interesting to you. At such points, the things that you hold dear or that you are crazy about, you are no more crazy about them. At that point, food is not even your problem. At that point, friends come and they are discussing their next move and you are just looking at them. You are at the crossroad of life. You are the crossroad of life. You are the crossroad of life. And that crossroad of life most times lead us in one of 2 ways. Whenever you find yourself at that point of life's crossroad, it could be for different reasons. It might be time for a transition. Time for what? Hope my English is not being too big this evening. It might be time for a transition. Meaning it might be time for the next level. A lot of people undermine the importance of life's crossroad. Life's crossroad might seem to you as a disadvantage sometimes, but it depends on how you handle it. You know, okay, let's let's start with the transition. I said life's crossroad might be an indication of a transition. It might be for different reasons, okay? But I like to talk about the transitional point. The worst moment of a woman is in the labor room. Women, is that true? Right? There is only one time a woman will cry and some even insult everybody around them. They are just free at that time. It's in the labor room. Do you know that some women at that time, pain becomes so much that they even prefer to die? A woman was there insulting her husband that time. Papa, I make us see what you do me. He go punish you. And But where was she? She was at a transitional stage of life. It looked painful, but it was going to determine two things. Either you break into the next phase, or you go to the next phase of life, which is heaven. That transitional point. When you find yourself, the next time you find yourself at that place, I want you to take advantage of it. You know why? At that time, you almost do not have distractions. Is that true? At that time, you don't want anybody visiting you. I don't know about you, but at such times, I always like to be alone. It's a transitional point. It is a point that moves you to a butterfly. What are the stages of a butterfly again? You can start as a simple larva. But then you transition to higher stages. The transitional stage of life is not always easy. It's not always sweet. But you know what? If you take advantage of it, you might find yourself at the next phase. At this point, this is you, as I said. You are at life's crossroad. The question is, where will you go to at this point? Life has brought you so far. Guess what? Hey, guess what? You might have been coming like this. Oh, this is you. This is where you've been traveling. But you got to this point and decided to stop. Hello? I hope you know that at that point, at that transitional point, or at this point of life, you are actually coming from somewhere. You did not appear here. Is it that you are coming from here, or you are coming from here, or you are coming from here, but you landed here? And at that point, it becomes a time of decision making. You might have been moving with a particular friend all the years. You might have been listening to a particular, you might have been living a particular kind of life, but you find yourself at the transitional point of life. That point where you begin to question yourself. Hey, when you find yourself at life's crossroad, what do? Ask what? Ask yourself questions. Number 2, be sincere. Be what? Be sincere with yourself. I've told you that the biggest lie you can lie to yourself is the biggest lie you can tell is a lie you lie to yourself. Oh yes, I've been traveling this road. I've been moving this route. But let me be frank with myself. Am I on track? Am I really on track? I said ask questions. Listen to me. It's one thing to ask questions. It's another thing to be sincere. And then it's another thing to be open-minded. 3 things again. Number 1 is what? Ask questions. Number 2 is what? Be sincere. Number 3 is what? Be open-minded. Don't ask questions and expect a particular answer. I have been dating John for the past 8 years. Do I really want to settle down with him? Be sincere. Oh, all my parents know him already. Everybody in the city know us together. Guess what? You are the one that know John more than every other person. So be sincere to yourself. Forget about everyone. That is where being open-minded comes in. Not going to God in prayer with an answer in your mind. Some people go to God making requests with an answer. Lord, I want to start this business. You have not asked the question. Have you? Some of you are so carried away by the profit you have been told is in the business that you are only taking the business to God for blessing, not for question. You have become so much in love with John that you are not concerned about what will be the answer. Rather, you are presenting John to God for a blessing. At life's crossroad, you must be open-minded. You must be sincere. And you must ask questions. At that point, be sincere with yourself. Be sincere. Ask real questions. Because if you find yourself at life's crossroad and you miss it, you will not transition. I said one purpose of the crossroad of life is that it's a period of what? Transition. It can birth something new. Most times when I find myself in life's crossroad, when I'm coming out, I am new. I am coming out with a new decision. I'm coming out with a new me. Because at that point, I'm always frank. At that point, I am sincere to myself.